That's the maximum amount you're gonna be able to change a girl. Now, if there's small things about her behaviors that you wanna change, she can change. People can change. Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Today I wanna talk about changing women and can you do it? I will get messages on Instagram or my coaching clients, and they'll come to me wondering why this girl is acting in this way, and obviously they don't like it, and how can they change it? So what I do is I say, okay, she's acting this way for this reason, this is her psychology, maybe there's some trauma behind it, that's why she's so insecure, for instance, and she's overly jealous. Something about her behavior, the explanation behind it, the reasoning behind it, the psychology behind it, and then how to deal with it. Now, unfortunately, most of the time when you're dealing with patterns of behavior from women, especially patterns that are really annoying or even are affecting the relationship. Maybe she's too unemotional. Maybe she's really bad at responding on time. Maybe she's really bad at flaking. These behaviors, these patterns of behavior, they aren't anomalies. Now, if she really likes you, you're gonna see less of these behaviors, and if she doesn't like you, you're gonna see more of them. She's gonna ignore you more, not even respond to you at all. And when she does like you, she's gonna be more wet for you, more excited to see you, more submissive, more emotional, etc. However, there are varying degrees of these behaviors from women because there are a lot of different women with different personalities because of their genetic makeup and, of course, the way they were raised and nurtured. Now, the problem with this is that because they're not an anomaly, this girl is going to act this way whether you're the highest value guy in her life or not. There will be a period of time when if you're super high value and girls are, because most guys say, oh, we'll just be super high value and she's not going to do any of these things. No, that's not true at all. I've had girls who are my total submissive sluts. They'll do anything I want. They suck my dick on command. They come over when I want. But they still have certain behaviors that I find really, really fucking annoying or really, really unattractive or really, really bad for a relationship. And that's the one that I want to focus on with this. Traits that are bad for relationships. Now, I've done videos on that, and there's some articles on this that you can check out in the description below. But the biggest problem with finding a girl who has these traits is you want to avoid her, but you like her so much. And then I'll get these clients coming to me saying, okay, here's this pattern of behavior that I don't like. What's wrong? I say, well, this is wrong. And then I say, this is not gonna make her a good girlfriend. Now, of course, they continue to keep seeing her and dating her and wanting her as a girlfriend because telling a guy not to date a certain girl it's futile. Very rarely do I get a guy to actually listen to my advice. And they, of course, learn their lesson. Eventually, all of them do, and they come to me saying, oh, blah, blah. I said, well, she's kind of that girl, you know, why did you expect her to act differently? I told you from the beginning that this is a pattern of behavior and you're not gonna change her. And so that's my thesis here, is you're not going to change the girl. You're not going to change her in any drastic way where she's gonna stop doing this particular thing that's really, really unattractive. You know, maybe she's a crazy party animal and this and that. She can change, people can change. But very often, if you're the one who's initiating it and pressuring her to do so, she might do it only to satisfy the relationship. But as soon as there's problems in the relationship, then she's gonna revert back to old behavior. Or if she gets bored, you know, maybe she parties too much and you get her to stop partying so much. It works for the first few years, then you have a kid, then a few years later, she feels like, wow, I'm not really living my life anymore. Hey, I wanna go out with some friends. And then the one night she goes out and get drunk, boom, all of her old habits start to come back. And you haven't really changed her. She was just in temporary retirement. That's one particular example. It doesn't just have to be partying, but it does revolve around for me and for my clients, traits that would make a girl more loyal, basically. When I say she's good for a relationship, I'm assuming you're attracted to her. I'm assuming her personality is also attracted to you. So that's all assumed. What the remaining thing strategically you need to focus on is she a good girlfriend? Basically, how likely is she to cheat on you and how likely is she to be loyal? And of course, you want to find girls who the pendulum is swinging more towards that end. I mean, it's always going like this, you know, every girl might cheat, da da da. But you definitely can pick girls that are better than others. Now, these guys, they're obsessed with these girls and they want to change this girl and he's like, oh man, she's this, she's that. Okay, you can get it out of her, but what I'm telling you is that when you first meet her, you're only gonna be able to change her about 5 to 10%, maximum. That's the maximum amount you're gonna be able to change a girl because people are very rarely changed at all in general, and only usually big traumatic life events tend to change them, and usually those only change people for a couple months. Then you go back to doing your old habits. You're like, oh my God, I got super sick, I fucking contracted this disease or this and that, maybe I shouldn't be drinking so much and doing so many drugs and fucking hanging out with these crazy ass sluts. Okay, cool. Then that guy learns his lesson, but then like 6 months later, he finds another trashy ass chick and, starts fucking with her, even though he learned his lesson the first time when he got, I don't know, chlamydia, and then fucking, was low on money because he's spending all his money on getting drunk and getting fucked up, right? People are usually gonna go back to the behaviors that they had before they met you. People can grow, people can change, but if it's your desire and inkling to be the force of that change, you're pretty much white knighting a girl, right? And so you want to avoid doing that. Now, you can only change her 5 to 10% because you are going to have an effect on someone that you're really close to and someone that you're dating. And if you're doing it the right way with operant conditioning, which is basically when she does something good, you reward it with attention, affection, love, sex. And when you get something that you don't like from her, some behavior that's really unattractive, maybe she's texting you too much, maybe she's texting you not enough. So let's say, you want her to be more emotional, for instance, and she's not texting you a lot. Well, what some guys will try to do is like, okay, I need to get emotions out of her, so I'm gonna text her more and more and more. That works a little bit. But then what ends up happening is you overinvest, and then now she's in the power position. Then some guys will try to talk to her like, hey, they'll try to do it subtly or even directly, like, hey, are you kind of just an unemotional person? I had a client who did this recently. And you'll get some response from her, and then she'll slowly start to open up. But then now, because you were the force of that change, in this particular instance, she's gonna see you as kind of unattractive because as a guy, you shouldn't be trying to get emotions from a girl. If anything, the ideal thing for you is to be the stereotypical unemotional male, right? And the girl is the one who is trying to get emotions out of you rather than the other way around. And so you are making yourself more unattractive in the long run by trying to change her and getting her to open up more and be more emotional with you, because that's kind of the girl's job. So even though it's a stereotype, by breaking it, you're kind of just, her primal instincts are thinking, he's too girly, he's too emotional, he's too feminine. And so even if you do get her to change though, underlying that change is you trying to, fix her psyche. Because obviously she's got a problem if she's so fucking unemotional. She's obviously got some trauma or something that's making her kind of lock up, as in the instance of this particular guy who was a client of mine. And what I told him is like, dude, even if you do change her, it's only gonna be 5 to 10% because you can't force anyone to do it. And also, by going after this change, you're kind of being unattractive because it shouldn't be your job to try and change a woman. If anything, the natural order is the man is wild and the woman tries to change him. She tries to save him from his past because he was abused when he was a child or something. Maybe he went through a low point in his life and he's struggling with his career, but she sees the light at the end of the tunnel and she sees the hero that he can be and she wants to inspire her, right? That's the feminine role. The man role is fuck pussy and lead and be strong and get shit done. Pretty much everything else will take care of itself if you pick the right mate, okay? So picking the right girl in the first place is rule number one, because you're only going to be able to change a girl 5 to 10%. And so if you take her as is and you try to take this girl the way you found her, knowing that you're probably not going to change her that much. You can change her a little bit to make your relationship more fulfilling and more entertaining and more fun, right? Let's say maybe she's sexually conservative, okay? Because she hasn't had a lot of experience. I've had a girlfriend like this. And so everything about her was perfect. It's just like, okay, maybe she could be more sexual. Well, it wasn't the fact that she wasn't giving me sex. She gave me sex all the time. It was just, it wasn't quite super great sex because she wasn't that experienced, which is great because I don't want to date a slut. And so I changed her by fucking her a lot and getting her much more sexually open-minded when it comes to me. So it was a 5 to 10% chance. She was already attracted enough to want to have sex with me a bunch. It was just the quality of the sex that I wanted to work on. So I taught her how to fuck. So I changed to that 5-10%, which helped the relationship, but I wasn't trying to make a magnificent change in her. I wasn't trying to take your girl who doesn't party and do drugs and then try and get her into that lifestyle because I'm in that lifestyle. Or the opposite, she's in that lifestyle, I want to take her out of it because I want to turn her into a housewife. I wasn't trying to make any drastic change to her personality. It wasn't a change, okay, it's not a change to her personality that you can get. The only changes that you can get in a girl is you can get her to be a little bit less annoying with her habits. Maybe she's overly affectionate and you kind of find it like, eh. When she's overly affectionate, operant conditioning. Oh yeah, totally. I was on a thread and then I totally forgot to stay on it. Operant conditioning. So what operant conditioning is okay, she's giving me a bunch of emotions. I don't like that much emotion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull back my reward. I'm not going to give her that love in return, right? But if I do want her to be more emotional, what I can do is, for instance, I stop putting in so much effort because I know she's, the reason why she's so unemotional is she's putting up a front to try and act cool, which is most of the time why people are try to, you know, they send really short texts and they just try to play cool, right? It's a fake act. So I'll pull back my emotions, then eventually she's gonna crack, right? She's playing games with me in the first place, I know, so it's not like I'm being petty. Then she starts to give more investment, and then I start to reward it more and more and more. And then we get to a point where she's being a little bit more emotionally expressive towards me. But it's just a small change. I'm not gonna change her personality in general. I'm just gonna change a little bit of her behaviors, okay? And so if you want to have the best relationship possible, you need to pick the girl who has all the good things already, right? If it's a girl that's like, she's great, but she has this one thing that's really, really bad, nope, don't take it. If there's any red flags, no. Now, if there's small things about her behaviors that you want to change, and they're not obviously drastic, integral parts of her personality, then of course you can, you know, say, hey, you know, you should work on this, or you can just do game and do it without telling her, I want you to change this. Just make the steps necessary to get her to change. And most of the time, what we want to be doing is just making her more submissive and more feminine, right? Now, if you need help with this relationship management, then you're gonna have to check out our channel, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and check out all the videos we have. I have a lot of videos on relationship management, and I'll put some in the description below. And if you have trouble actually getting a girlfriend, I know this is probably the first part, right? How are you gonna change a girl if you can't even get a girl in the first place? So if you need help getting a girl, this video is just about don't try and change a girl, find a girl who just already is the way you want her. If you want to find a girl, well, you're gonna have to go and approach her. You're gonna have to ask her out. You're gonna have to get her on a date. You're gonna have to run the date well. You're gonna have to know what to say, when to say it, how to say it. You're gonna need to know when it's time to pull her home, or if maybe you need a second date or a third date because she's not ready. But if you do get her home, then what do? When do you kiss her? How do you get her undressed? You know, how do you guys have sex? It doesn't just fucking happen, you know? A lot of people want to pretend that this is very natural and it just appears. Girlfriends sucking my dick. No, you know, even the friends who I have who are like naturals, and I wasn't natural before I found the pickup community, I still thought about, okay, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this. Yeah, there is some game plans involved. It's the reason why we call it game. And so with this in mind, for you to have a complete process to make this happen, and for you to actually get to the point where you're watching this video and it's actually applicable because you have a girl with which you have to make a decision like, is she the kind of girl I want, or is she slightly far off enough that, you know, maybe I should just get a different girl because, you know, you can't save a hoe or you can't change a girl. If you want to have that process, a complete process that teaches you from start to finish, from how to meet a girl, where to meet them, how to pick them up, get their number, get them on a date, everything, I can teach you all of it. Because in the description below, there's a course called One Date. And if you buy that course, what you'll be able to do is you'll have a very, very simple process that you can do over and over and over. It's not lines, it's not like, say this at this time at fucking 7 p.m. because the sun is revolving around the universe at this time and it's gonna make it the most excellent word and it's gonna get her instantly wet in just 3 seconds. Like, it's not that bullshit, right? It's just teaching you good habits good mentalities, and a general game plan for where you should take a girl on a date usually. Should you try this date or this kind of date? Well, this kind of date is better because of these reasons, right? Should you talk about these topics? I'm not telling you what exactly to say. There's no way I could script an entire date. That's fucking impossible. But I can tell you some general topics that are really nice, that'll be good conversational topics to help you guys get to know each other and build a connection, build similarity, build arousal, right? I'm using some words from the course in there. And if you check out the course, you'll know what I'm talking about, because similarity, arousal, and compliance are the 3 parts of attraction. And you'll learn that and so much more in the course, in the description below. It's called One Date. Check it out, and you'll be in a situation where you can watch this video and it'll be applicable because you'll be getting girls on dates and getting laid and getting girlfriends. Okay, cool. So now, back to this. When we are trying to change a girl, what we're trying to do is we're just finding a girl who's not gonna fucking cheat on us, who's gonna be loyal and honest and faithful, right? And then she has the attractiveness, personality, physical, of all the things that we already like. That's fucking assumed. So, you can't make a drastic change, you can make a small change. How do you do that? Relationship game. And again, how do you learn a relationship game? Like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and check out the description below with all the relationship videos. So, when you are looking for a girlfriend, when you're dealing with a girl who maybe is giving you some trouble, she's not texting you back, she's flaking, you guys are seeing each other, but she won't give the pussy, she's giving up the pussy, but she's not giving up enough, you want it more, you want it a lot, and then next thing you know, you're going crazy about this girl, and you're texting me on Instagram, or you're signing up for coaching, and you're like, how the fuck do I get this girl, okay? What I'm gonna tell you most of the time, if I find that she has some traits that are just, they're not even worth changing, it's too much effort, even if you do pull it off for the reasons I explained, she's gonna see you as a little bit unattractive because you were kind of being a beta white knight. When you have this situation, what I want you to do is remember this video and just think, you know what, I can't change her, I can't change people, the girl or guy, right? The girls are just as stupid as the guys trying to save a hoe, the girl's trying to save the bad boy. Very rarely does it happen. And he's gonna keep fucking other girls and cheating on it, even if you do change him, I promise. You can't change people, don't try. Can people change? Sure, but you're not gonna be the one to do it, because as soon as you start thinking you're gonna do it, you're just gonna be the rule, and the rule is you can't change people. You're very rarely the exception, okay? So, find a girl who's already right now, and if you do find yourself thinking, I wanna change her, remember this video and go, nope, Poppy told me that's dumb, and I know it's dumb for all the reasons explained because he over-explained it 20 times because that's what he does, but it helped me get the fucking point, and the point is you can't change people, okay? Cool. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlchase.com. Remember to check out One Date in the description below because you're not getting pussy and we'll help you get pussy. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, go fuck yourself, follow me on Instagram, and go fuck yourself again.